Hello, friends. It's Wednesday, January 13th. We are 1 week away from the inauguration of a new president, and we are in the midst of a very complicated and scary time in our country where a lot of the institutions that we hold sacred to our democracy seem to be threatened in some way. And I know that whatever our particular individual political affiliations, I know that for all of us, this is a very restless time. This weekend, we will celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and more broadly, the important work and struggle and witness and passion of the many, many people who have been part of an ongoing movement for civil rights, human rights for all of God's people. One of the things I most appreciate about Dr. King is that he understood, in his words, justice is indivisible. He understood that the freedom of any person is connected to the freedom of every other person. He famously said, I refuse to segregate my moral concern. And he took a lot of flack, including among his colleagues, when he spoke out against the Vietnam War during the 60s, because a lot of the civil rights leaders were worried that focusing on Vietnam would somehow take away the focus for civil rights. And King's argument was um, that people dying in, soldiers of any nationality dying in a faraway place cannot be disconnected from people dying on the streets of our cities here. So um, many of King's words have inspired me and given me hope and courage over the last few decades. This Sunday, I'm going to share a little bit about a much less well known leader, but very important leader in the civil rights movement, and that is Ella Baker. So I hope you'll be with us for worship as we consider the legacy of Ella Baker and particularly her work with young people. This Sunday, Alan, during the children's time, will also share a day of service idea. Monday, the national holiday, has been for several years designated as the Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. And although the pandemic means that we cannot um, say, I'll run to the food pantry or have big community service projects, there are many ways in which all of us can participate in service. And in Alan's children's time, he will invite us to write letters during the coming week, or particularly on Monday, to healthcare workers or other first responders in our community, because these are people who have been working day and night under very difficult conditions to try and take care of members of our community, including members of our own church. So there are so many ways that Central can participate in service, even if some of our regular activities are curtailed right now. Our witness is very important. We are followers of Jesus, and we believe that every human being has worth. And we believe that none of God's people should be hungry or abused or denied the opportunity to live fully. So um, I'm grateful to be part of this ministry with you. Um, on Tuesday night, last night, Robbie and I met with 15 members of Central, longtime members, newer members who have been willing to consider being a mentor for a young person who will be going through what we used to call confirmation this spring, or for an adult who is exploring what it means to join Central. We had a wonderful conversation last night, and I'm very excited about the energy and the possibility of us reclaiming some of the really great um, theological ideas and actions that come out of our Methodist tradition. So you'll be hearing more about that in the weeks to come. Please take care of yourselves this week. If you're feeling anxious, please reach out. Reach out to a friend, reach out to me, reach out to another member of the church or a member of the staff team. We are all aware of what it feels like to live in this time that seems very uncertain. And we will and we can support each other. So please know that you are not alone, even if you are isolated right now in your house, by phone, by mail, by Zoom, by FaceTime, by texting. There are so many ways that we can continue to be in touch with each other, to pray for and support each other. So I look forward to being with you in worship, in Bible study. Next week, our finance committee meets, our church council meets, and the work of the church continues as we witness to God's love in a hurting world. Have a good week, and God be with you.